This is Stephen Miller for Analogue Theory and Applications. This is the Learning Outcome 2 tutorial. So basically what I'm going to be doing today is showing how an analog desk works in the studio environment, how it records everything. So as you can see, we are in the studio, obviously. And so what's happening is I've got a microphone there. Basically you can hear the demo of the piano. So where the microphone's going is going to the channel 4 mic input. So if we go over to the channel 4 channel strip, you can see that 3 and 4 are lit up, so that's where you can control it. So you can unset that, set it to 1, 2, 5, 6, 9, 10, it doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to keep it 4 for simplicity. So if we move down, you've got the mic and line gains, so that's usually what it's controlled on. Turn it up, sorry about that, you get a bit of feedback, which was not meant to be. So moving down, so I don't do that again, you have your 4-band EQ, the high frequencies, the high mid, the low mid, and the low frequencies. I'm sorry, also to mention, you have phantom power just there, which we have because it's a condenser microphone that we're using today. Going down, you have auxiliaries, so for your effects and stuff. So 1 to 5, 1 to 4, and then 5 and 6 and 7 or 8 are stereo paired. Going further down, you have the panning. So this is sort of controlling where you're getting the signal from. So for instance, if I change it to left, that's you hearing out at 3, so you hear the music stops. Turn it to 4 again, you get the music back. Simple as. So we have it down here. You've got your fader, which is usually kept around 0, and then the gain is sort of controlled from the knob up there. So going from the channel 4, which obviously you could still see, you can see the monitoring here. So obviously you could tell here that the dial's moving, which means that we're getting a signal. Not now because it's stopped. So what happens is that the signal is then travelled all the way to the AD converter, which is an analog to digital converter, and vice versa, and sent to Pro Tools, which is the source that we're using today. So, as you can see here on the channel 4 of Pro Tools, you can see a signal happening, which means that we're doing something right. What happens then is that the signal is sent all the way back to the converter, done from digital to analog, and then sent over to our monitoring side of the desk. When we're in the monitor, I need to remind you that this is a split desk, so what happens here is completely different from what happens here. So for instance, I turn the fader down here, you hear nothing, but if we go back to Pro Tools, you can see there's still a signal happening, so it's completely different from what's happening for the input stage. So let's turn that back up. So there's 2 sets of speakers in the studio. You've got the sort of wall-mounted ones and the smaller ones. To get the smaller ones working, and usually it's sort of used more for mixing because it sort of has a better tone. I'll let you listen, you can tell for yourself. So if we turn the monitor level down and turn this one on, it comes back and it just sounds a bit better, and it's better for mixing and everything. So we'll go and turn this back on. So going down the monitor path, you've got 1, 2 of auxiliaries, then 3 and 4 are, and 5 and 6 are once again split into stereo pairs. Here you've got the panning, so you could control which speaker it's coming out of, and then you've got the monitor level. And then if you go down here, you've got the fader. So you, obviously, as I showed before, you control it by that, but usually that's sort of kept to 0 and it's controlled by here. Over here is the master fader, so this just controls everything basically. So for the monitor level, you've got your your metering sort of here. So if I turn it up, you should be able to see it moving there. I'll just move it a bit closer, and there you go. There you go. Turn it down now. From the monitor path, we go to the patch bay. So what we've got right now is a phalange plugged in. So what you've got is the left input of the desk going into the MPX 200 in, which is the effects unit, and the out going into 32. This is done so you can basically record the effect through Pro Tools. What's really important through patching is to get two cables that are sort of the same length, so there's no phasing issues or anything. So if we go over to channel 4 in the input stage and turn the auxiliary one up, and then go over, because it's set to number 11 on our monitor stage, turn this right up, you could definitely hear something that is much worse than the tune that we were listening to before. So obviously, if you bring this up, it kind of evens it out. But as I take it down, it just becomes a mess. What we're going to do now is plug in some patches for the Q amp. So basically, people through there, musicians, can hear themselves through headphones. So what we're going to do is take two leads that are the same length for phase reasons, plug them in to 5 and 6. Sorry, I'm completely on the wrong part. Take the ends and plug them into Q amps, one for the left and the right. So the reason that we're using two is because it's a stereo. The signal does from the patches is go through to the Q amp that is through there and with all that machinery, and then the signal is sent to the performance area, let's just call it that, through what we can do with headphones, and I'll show you how to do that just now. To set up the Q amp for the performers over there, first what you have to do is come over to the channel. I'll sound it this way so you can actually see it. Go to the channels 3 and 4, or 5 and 6. With the touch of this button, it changes from 3 or 4 to 5 or 6. So when I was explaining it, that's what sort of messed me up. You turn that up a little bit. So what the signal gets, what happens, the signal gets sent over to the masters, the auxiliary masters. So this is not, this is not stereo. So you control them both from here. So turn up 5 and 6. And basically if we go back to here, what you can do is you can press a button for pre. So what this does is it basically makes the effect, it basically puts it through before it goes through the monitor, so it doesn't affect the headphones or the headphone users basically. So we are now through here at the recording part, and here are the headphones, and as you can see, you can hear sound out of it. So if I move over here, this is quite fun. Basically, number one kind of sort of very distorted or something, so we thought there was something wrong, so we changed the tune. For some reason it worked. So what's happening here is that you've got the XLR coming out of input 2 and going into the splitter, where 4 pairs of headphones can be plugged in, as you can see, where 4 different people can get the sort of same mix, and then it's just going through to the headphones. So thank you very much for watching.